So it is very interesting when you read the popular press or the media or hear politicians speak. It's very clear that Africa is still very much regarded as predominantly a rural economy and a rural continent. And this is despite the fact that if we look at the current urban population, which is close to 40% of the total, that amount is more than the entire European population. So when we look at urbanization in Africa, clearly this comes with challenges and it comes with some problems. And the main issue is that the majority of people don't have access to formal employment. And as a result, they cannot afford to live in what we would regard as formal modernity in the rest of the world. In other words, a formal house, and be able to participate in the social and the economic dynamics of the society. The institutional challenges that we see a lot of African governments not really prepared to deal with urbanization as a set of interrelated issues. And as a result, city governments and municipalities are not empowered to both understand and to respond to these challenges. So those, for me, are some of the big issues that stems from this demographic shift. If I'm asked what I would suggest these institutions consider in thinking through such support, I would say, firstly, to pay attention to Agenda 2063, which is the Pan-African vision for how the continent will be transformed, how structural transformation of economies will be achieved, how African cultural resources will be used as the primary resources to rebuild confidence and identity in the continent. And what we've seen in the most recent while is a determination to build a single African market through a free trading zone. Now that is crucial because only 15% of Africa's economic trade at the moment is internal in the continent. And if you consider that we're talking about a 1.3 billion population across the continent, this is obviously a critical lever. So I would say for European actors who want to contribute positively, they have to strengthen the frameworks that have emerged within the African continent, and there's a very clear recognition that to achieve Agenda 2063, we've got to build a knowledge economy in Africa, and we've got to make sure that science and technology is deployed to produce urban and infrastructure approaches that are sustainable, that are affordable for African populations, but also can put African economies from the beginning on a low carbon and environmentally appropriate footing. Now, if we can ensure that the available development finance, especially for infrastructure, does not perpetuate inappropriate infrastructure solutions, for example, coal energy systems or road infrastructures that promote car use, but instead from the beginning promote appropriate infrastructure approaches that indeed can see a perpetuation of the low carbon footprint of existing economies, that would be the right thing to do for European partners.